Last week, the pictures coming out of the Chinese city of Harbin, an urban area of 11 million people, so large that it would be the 8th most populous state in the U.S., reminded me of scenes from a small Pennsylvania town 65 years ago this week. Harbin is in northern China, at about the same latitude as U.S. cities such as Minneapolis and Portland, Maine. The city was essentially shut down while suffocating in a dense soup of pollution, mostly from coal-fired heating systems that reduced visibility to only 30 feet at times, closed schools, and the airport as well as many highways. Incredibly, pollution concentrations were more than 40 times the World Health Organization's safe level, with particles small enough to penetrate deep into the lungs and enter the bloodstream. Many residents wore masks, and hospital admissions for respiratory illness increased 30% during the episode. And weather played a big role, with light winds and sinking air associated with a stagnant pattern dominated by high pressure, keeping the brew of pollutants from dispersing horizontally or escaping vertically until a cold front pushed through late last week. This episode is just the latest of many hazardous air quality incidents in China in recent years, all the result of the country's rapid industrialization. Back in January, Beijing was shrouded in a thick smog of particulates. Much of the month, the concentration there reaching 35 times what's considered safe and prompting some visitors to say they could taste the pollution in the air. In the U.S., you have to go back to the 1940s and 50s to find widespread pollution episodes like the ones we see now in China. And one of the worst occurred in Donora, Pennsylvania, located along a horseshoe bend in the Monongahela River, 20 miles southeast of Pittsburgh, 65 years ago this week in late October of 1948. Smoke pouring from the town's steel mills and zinc factories, which employed thousands of the town's residents, was trapped in the river valley, its fluoride gas and other toxic nitrogen and sulfur compounds contributing to a thick, motionless, yellowish-gray smog with a sickening smell that engulfed the town for days and made it hard to see across the street. As is common in pollution episodes, high pressure controlled the weather map, bringing very light winds and a very stable vertical temperature profile, with a layer of warmer air aloft, effectively trapping the pollutants in colder air lodged in the river valley. The town's 8 doctors were overwhelmed, and oxygen had to be shipped in from surrounding areas to help residents who were having trouble breathing. The pollution episode killed 20 people and sickened about a third of the town's 14,000 residents. This was a landmark public health disaster, and coupled with serious air quality problems in big cities such as Los Angeles, eventually led to the Federal Air Pollution Control Act of 1955, the first national law designed to improve air quality. Fred is back next with the extended forecast.